Welcome to Awning Instruction Operation 101. First move, let's turn on the power, since that's a switched light out there. When we step out, we'll see that the lights are lit and we know that the power's on. There we go. Lights are lit and the power's on. The awning remote is hanging here on the wall. You can actually take it off if you choose, or you can just leave it hanging there. When the up arrow is in toward the house and the out arrow is away. So if I press the down button, the one pointing down, there goes the awning. It starts moving. At any point in time, I can reach over to the remote and press the center button that says My, and that will stop the awning. So if someone wanted to sit on the chair out in front in the sun, and someone wanted to sit at the table in the shade, you can accomplish that. I hit the My button, and the awning stops moving. The person in the back is in the shade, the person in the front is in the sun. If I want to continue the awning on its outward path, I press the down button again. It's going to go to its full extension, and it's going to stop right there, because it knows when it's all the way up. You hear a little clanking noise, nothing to be worried about, it's just moving. At this point, the awning can sit right where it is. If there's a light rain, you're fine. If there's wind, it'll move up and down, but it's designed to do that. If you're interested in locking out the front to stop it from swinging, you can reach up, take the leg, and you just bring it down, like this. Kind of lift it up. There's a little tab on the front edge. You lift the tab, put it in the slot, drop the tab, that leg's locked. I walk over here, I can do the same thing. Lift it out, bring it over to here, just lift slightly, bring up the locking pin, lock it in, now it's locked. If there were light rain and it's sitting like this, it's fine. There's enough pitch that the rain's going to run off. If the wind gets heavy or there's a lot of wind and you want to leave it out like that, to make it a little more secure, over here in this corner, hanging on a nail, are locking pins. Now this, again, this is all optional. This is if you want to be out here in heavy rain or heavy wind. I would take the locking pin. Now I'm short, so I'm going to stand on this chair. I just push the locking pin straight up. Now the shoulder's locked. I have another pin. That's I call it a shoulder. That's the elbow. I walk over to this side, and I can do the same thing. And I can lock that in. This is, again, this step of locking it in is only necessary if there's a lot of wind resistance. As long as that fabric is nice and taut, you're okay for rain. If it's bowing a little bit, or in case of emergency, if the power's out and the awning's out, and you want to bring it in, there's a storm coming and the motor won't respond because you don't have power, in this corner is a crank. I can walk over to this loop right here, put the crank in, and that will allow me to crank the awning in. If you want to move the awning, you got to make sure the pins are out. So I'm just going to pull these. If I were setting this up and I intended to leave it out because it was raining, and over time the fabric is gonna, it's gonna stretch 0.5%. I mean, very little. But what I would do is I'd come over to the crank when the legs were locked in, and if I just gave it a little bit of inward turn, I could just put a little extra tension on the fabric. At this point, I can lock it out, and it's ready for rain. But if the power's out, I'm going to take the legs out and show you the cranking operation. Lift it, move it out. This one locks in. I'm going to take this one, do the same thing. Push it out, lift it up. Those hang there just like that. If the power went out and I wanted to bring the awning in, I put the crank in, and then I just start turning. And it takes a while, but as you see, the arms are bending and the fabric's rolling back in, and I can keep going until it's all the way in. But right now, I'm going to leave it all the way out because it's a beautiful day and we like the sunshine. And Now the awning's all the way out. The first turn when you're cranking it, the arms are straight and the springs are under tension, so it takes a little bit of effort the first turn, then it gets easy. If now I have the power's on, I can go turn the power off again, because I'm not going to move the awning. If I had stopped the awning halfway out and turned the power off, and then I come out and I want to put the awning out again, when I hit the down button to send it out, it's going to pause, but it's going to go in first, reset itself, then it will go out, just because the power was out. That's just the nature of the awning, and that's the way it works. That's about it. You now know how to work your awning.